Welcome, everybody, to the Hooligan Sports Podcast, Season 2, Episode 12, Quarantine Edition again. It says Quarantine Edition 3. I think I forgot to update it to 4. But it's Quarantine Edition 4 on this podcast.
Thanks to the Ronas.
Thanks to the Ronas again. What is this? A whole month away. But, I mean, we're still keeping on.
Yes.
With
Dude,
this,
are you at a Yeezy concert?
We talk about as we
Actually,
talk about sports.
funny that
Remember
you
when that was the thing, guys?
what was that, Christian?
So back
Also-
when there was a thing called sports. You guys remember that, right?
Oh, yeah, the good old days.
Long, long ago.
So,
Ah,
Boosters, are you signed in twice still?
that's my twin brother.
I don't even think I could
That's-
hear Boosters. Is he even...
No,
even
I
doing
can't hear
this?
Bustos at all. It's okay. Let's leave it like that. You know why? Because it's better.
It was really awkward.
One's
silence
for my
regarding
audio,
Bustos.
one's for my tech, one's for the screen.
Bustos, you're taking up 2 squares in our podcast right now.
I
This
know.
Is,
Why are you taking up 2 squares, Bustos?
this is like he thinks he's playing Hollywood Squares or something right
Save
now.
some squares for us.
So,
Just
you guys,
just because you're PG certified.
another boring week in sports. Our 4th consecutive boring week in sports.
What sports?
Yeah.
Can someone tell me what sports is?
I really feel like that. How many classic games?
It
can you
was
watch?
this one, Tommy. It was this thing where people would show up to sporting venues like Staples Center and have
What's a-
beers, sell
what's a
IPAs,
staple-
watch.
What's a Staples Center?
It's
So
a sporting venue.
it was
Yeah,
it was your
DJ's
old
at,
home.
Nashville.
at Staples Center right now. There's seats.
Yeah, I'm actually here. I don't know if you can tell.
I'm at the Coliseum.
Bustos, you're not at the Coliseum, Bustos. Yeah, it's fake. That's fake,
He's like,
Bustos.
Bustos, don't try to trick me, Bustos.
DJ is really at
Right.
Staples Center.
I'm
Bustos,
really
that's fake.
here in real life right now, guys.
Those are actually DJ seats up there.
Which is crazy.
They
'Cause
are.
you know
They're kind
why?
of like in the same angle of the seats.
Really a DJ.
Do you know why though? Because I took this video, guys, from my.
Oh,
seats.
okay.
This
I was gonna say
actually-
that's pretty damn close.
All right. I'm still here.
So, hold up,
So-
guys.
So,
Tell,
guys,
tell everyone how you're frustrated with no sports. Tell everyone. I hate it. I
Is he
His-
hate it.
pooping? Is he
No.
pooping?
No, he's not pooping.
I'm just
Why?
saying.
He's
I'm just saying.
not
Ever
pooping,
since
right?
ever since Baby Zach got here, we have not had sports.
I know. You know what? I think we got to stop that.
I think it's him. If I'm being completely honest right now.
That's cool.
Baby, DJ said we haven't had sports since Baby Zach got here. Alana says, okay, we're sacrificing him.
No.
Also, Bustos is in Bustos seats. Ish.
Oh, he sure
my God.
is. Look at that
Ish.
left field.
Right?
I moved to my seats.
You had to move it over. So, you guys,
Okay, I just now noticed it.
actual sports talk. Has there been anything interesting this past week? Like,
The Rams trade.
so
What?
Yeah, when the Rams traded Brandon Cooks for a second-round pick.
So- Who cares about that,
Wow.
Bustos? If I don't care, it's not news, and I don't care.
honestly, I feel
I
like
think Tommy's still mad about the logo.
Yeah.
just certain things
I'm
haven't gotten.
still very angry about the logo.
Definitely.
And honestly, like, I feel like that was one of the bright spots so far for the Rams is getting out of Cooks' contract, considering dude's had some concussion scares the last couple seasons. Not the worst thing. I don't know if what they say, like Houston was panicking because of
Yeah.
the whole DeAndre Hopkins trade and all that stuff.
You
But
basically gave up a second-round pick, the same that you got for Hopkins, which is so weird. Even though you got David Johnson too. It's like, why would you only give
Right.
up a second-round pick for one of the top 3 receivers, and you
Right.
give up a second-round pick for for Cooks? That does not make any sense.
I'm just tripping out right now on the broadcast that Bustos has 2 windows, one just for his name, and then one just for his picture.
He's got to be so extra, I swear.
I know. Why
Like-
do you have two? Why do you have two?
Well,
screens?
This
'Cause-
world could not handle 2 Bustos seats.
Because my audio doesn't work on my laptop. I could go off one, and then the audio you would hear echoing.
Did you just Mickey Mouse your streaming?
Why? Yeah. Why does
Mhm.
nobody else have that problem, Boosters? But here you are, not being able to have.
If you had Netflix, you wouldn't have that problem.
No, my
If
laptop's
you watch
my
Tiger King, you
laptop's
would have
screwed
gotten
up.
that problem.
My
Boosters,
laptop's screwed up.
have you got Netflix yet?
No,
How
I
far?
told you the trick to Netflix. You need to
I
try it.
know.
God sakes.
I've been doing some golf work,
He's missing out on the Tiger
golf
King.
education
So
the last
how
few days.
how far into this quarantine is it gonna take before you budge and you finally commit?
I'm holding off on Netflix the whole quarantine.
Wow. You just have to go against the grain. I always tell you guys, his whole thing, his whole MO, going against the grain. He's like, other people like it.
He
I'm
he
not gonna
only
like it.
he only agrees with Alma.
This is true.
Damn!
Nope.
Yeah,
If Alma wanted him to get Netflix, he'd get Netflix.
like that's literally the only way we can get through to Busto sometimes.
At least I got my first unemployment check today.
What the fuck?
Way to go, Bustos.
I know. Congratulations, Bustos.
At least I got paid on something.
Hey, you should get your stimulus check soon too.
I know. I should get it
Hey,
tomorrow.
Your
Hey,
Rona's check.
hey, Deej, the fact that he got unemployment check, now he can buy your PS4.
What? That was true. We said whoever got the first check had to buy the PS4 for Hooligan. Sorry, Bustos.
Hey, and I downloaded Rocket League, so I'm just waiting for you guys to sign on so we can play.
Yes. Tommy,
I have
reinstall it,
I have
Tommy.
Rocket League. I have it.
Yo,
You
we're,
guys
about
should
to,
stream it.
we're gonna have a Hooligan Rocket League game. So what else, guys? What
I'm
else?
still gonna play my video games.
Bustos, I know you don't even play. You play like
The
Hello
only thing
Kitty.
he plays
Hello
with
Kitty.
himself.
He's like the game I'm best at. Josh.
I think I have
Probably
an
Where's
idea on
Waldo?
how to like deal with the sound issue on my part. So y'all can still see me, but I'm gonna.
Actually, the only other sports news we have is the XFL collapsing.
Actually, that was
Unfortunately,
pretty big news considering. Yeah, they basically said that they have no plans to come back next season either, which
No.
really bums me out because I never got to go to a Wildcats game this whole time. Like after all of that, I never actually got to go.
I got to experience life the Wildcat way. Well, you
Yeah,
have
Christian got to go,
DJ.
at
You have a
least.
piece. I went to 2 games, man.
Yeah,
So,
I can't.
You know what happened? Joe
Got to see
Exotic went
the team
to
that,
went to jail, and all the cats are dead. So that's why the Wildcats are dead.
Dude, that would have been
You know who-
hilarious.
You know
tie-in.
who killed?
Carol
who killed the
Baskins?
Wildcats? Carol
God
Baskins.
damn Carol Baskins.
goddamn
XF
Carol Baskin.
She
Damn
killed.
Carol
She killed the
Baskin.
XFL.
Dude, right?
Right.
She covered them in sardine oil. Boostas is just like, I want to get through one episode without a
I
Joe
know.
Exotic reference.
Oh, I don't care if you talk about it.
At
Modern
this point, Boosters really don't give a
modern
shit.
problems require modern solutions. Yeah.
This is very true.
All right,
So
we
I'm
got, we
watching.
got a,
I'm watching the YouTube broadcast right now. I have the sound off on YouTube, but you guys can still see me, but there's a bit of a delay. So
I have the chat. I'm watching the chat.
Carter.
Bob Money
I
says
have the
LA
chat, too.
Lambs. LA Lambs bankrupt for a long time.
I have no idea who that is. I'm not saying a damn thing.
That's Christian's
but he is a
burner
Niner
account.
fan. He
That's
is a
Christian's
Niner fan, but-
burner account.
As soon as
Not my burner
yeah, as
account.
soon as Christian's video froze, we started getting anti-Ram comments.
Oh my
Chat.
god.
Sounds
Why,
like
what
a
happened?
coincidence.
But over the course of time, I've actually eased up on slandering the Rams for the most part. You guys are witnesses.
He's turning to the light.
No, we just give it to him
No.
so hard that he's like, I'm not even trying to open that can of worms because these guys are relentless with me.
Yeah, I mean, we already know we're like 21 seconds away from Tommy dropping another 21-point record.
Here we go. 21.
No. Funny one.
If only we had
We
the
know it's
soundboard
coming.
too.
Oh, that's what
know
you
it's
need to do. Get the soundboard ready. But we can't even have that.
We can,
Yeah,
hey
people.
DJ, just use my second audio like you have, and have a second video, which is the soundboard.
Bustos, why you gotta like? You're just gonna have
Boost?
random audio only profiles in here. And video only profiles. Jeez,
I think we
this.
probably might have to, for those that don't know, we're doing this broadcast or this podcast this week via Zoom. Our
So
first time.
Zoom, zoom,
so
zoom.
back to the XFL. As it
Yeah.
stands, we are still the only champion in XFL history. There's only been one.
For the 19th year in a row.
LA Extreme, baby.
And still
Exactly. Hashtag
Still.
X don't give it to you.
Yeah,
and
there's no champion.
Still champion.
Throw up the X.
Right? Even though our Wildcats are no more. We never even got to start our Wildcat podcast and our Wildcat supporters group, the Kitties.
Yeah, there was there was a good amount of fans over in the north end of Dignity Health Sports Park where the safe standing zone is, the Victoria block.
Yeah.
It was a whole bunch of fans that were starting to do their own supporters group type thing.
I don't think so, Christian. I hate to say it.
What do you mean?
I think-
Damn.
What's that about,
It,
Bustos?
it looks so empty
Jesus.
watching the games on TV. Those
Yeah, I know.
Well, I mean, I'll give it to Christian.
Dude.
Christian actually went to 2 games over there. And
Yeah, I give it that.
Bustos
yeah,
is
the
like
second
the freaking
deck- the
Donald. Bustos is like Donald Trump of the podcast. Like he's such a Debbie Downer and like
he's like,
downplays and
Really
just
is.
angry.
no.
Yes.
No.
Hey,
Shut
you need
your mouth.
you need someone.
Shut your mouth.
You always need someone to do that. Put everyone in check.
It's funny because he's like looking at Tommy while he's talking to him. It's great.
We're doing the Brady Bunch.
Yeah, because I kind of had like this other view where he looked like he was looking at Tommy while he was talking.
Oh man.
I'm actually watching TV. Or actually-
Bustos. You're not watching the podcast. You're watching TV. You don't even let Christian say that there could have been a possibility of a supporters group in the future.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
not
know
even-
your mouth,
Not
Bustos.
even like that it was an established one. He's just like, there was a
No
lot
chance.
of dark. Wow.
Bustos is like
There
one of
was
those
a
people
chance,
like
actually.
on a feel good story on a like Facebook post. He's the one who's like that can't happen.
Right.
Or like
Yep.
The
that-
first one in the
like,
comments.
He's the one that
Fake
posted
news.
like an angry face. And when it
Yeah,
has hearts and
like-
thumbs up, he's the angry face one. Just that
Yeah.
one
Yeah,
guy.
Top comment that just
Like-
says fake news.
Yep.
Oh my god.
But there is a
dude.
piece of LA Wildcats history back at the studio.
This is true.
Yeah.
We have Bradley Sylvia's game used gloves from their last game ever.
Hey, he
Uh,
might actually need
turns
those
out-
back.
Yeah.
He's gonna hit us up. He's like, hey bro, you
He's
still
gonna-
got my gloves?
He's like, I need gloves because I can't touch
Hey,
anything right now.
Right.
I need those back, bro. I need them back.
If I could get those back, I'd really appreciate that. You know, times are tough right now, and I don't know if you heard the league folded.
I can't give you any money.
Well,
or
right
anything
now,
like that.
actually, Vince McMahon put the XFL up for sale today.
Yeah, no one's buying it. I don't think.
So there's a chance it could. So you're saying there's a chance?
Right.
So,
If I
so
was,
with all
if
our
I was the
stimulus
NFL,
checks,
I'd
we can all
buy it.
pitch in.
NFL could use it like a minor league, like the
Or-
AHL.
They should, but they won't.
We can put all our stimulus check money together and buy it.
Yo, that's a good one too.
Okay, who's? Oh, that's
What is that?
Christian from his location.
I'm at the train station in Anaheim. So.
What about some Dodger news? How's that construction going on?
It looks like they did some of the center field cementing.
Yeah,
other stuff.
a lot more is done this last couple weeks. Last week for sure, we saw a video the other day that all the concrete in center field has been poured, and I think all the buildings except one of them are already in. So it's looking like it's pretty close,
Looks like you just gotta do some gardening.
right? A lot
Cementing.
of gardening to do.
They need to bring back the 76 gas station too, guys.
I feel like
I
that
heard
should
they're
get turned
turning-
into like a restaurant or something.
Yeah, they're starting something into that.
Well, in one of those construction videos, that whole lot back there was all dirt. So I don't know if they're repaving or I was even like, imagine they did like a parking structure out there or something. I don't know.
Or a roller coaster.
I mean, all it was used for was
a roller
restaurants for a
coaster
long time.
into the stadium.
Or maybe it's the gondola, that sky tram.
That would
thing.
be so sick. That would be so sick.
You remember there's talks about one of the tunnels that Elon Musk was building, the
Yeah.
Hyperlink or something
Yeah.
like that. and they were saying that wanted to do one to like Dodger Stadium. That'd have been crazy.
That'd be so
Elon
Boost-
Musk out here wilding, yo.
Bustos, what does construction look like considering you're sitting in the pavilion right now?
What does it look like?
Yeah, what is your
It
surroundings?
looks like we still have a lot of work to do to be completely done, but we're almost there. I mean,
And
they
Busso
let me-
said this was gonna be done by opening day. Remember, guys?
Right, he's like,
yeah,
Right.
not even
Yeah, but I-
close, Bustos.
the coronavirus had a little effect. We went to a short man crew.
Bro, the Ronas
rain.
did the construction crew a favor.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
definitely. Of course, I don't think we're gonna be seeing it this year, though. Unfortunately, now. I hope I'm wrong.
Okay, so yeah, that's actually something I want to talk about. I saved a tweet earlier. Where is this at? Basically, it's from
Gavin Newsom.
yeah. Do you have that? I don't know if I had sent it.
I know
It's
you
unlikely
send it.
to have grouped large gatherings, sporting events in the near future right now. That's
Yeah, so he's talking obviously as far as California is concerned, but the full statement I have it right here. California Governor Gavin Newsom calls sports and other large events unlikely this summer. The prospect of mass gatherings is negligible at best until we get to herd immunity and get to a vaccine. So
So that
he said
means
he's talking about this summer. So that's a
yeah.
pretty long time. You figure
So,
September.
so that means the Rams will actually get to open the new stadium first instead of Taylor Swift.
It's a possibility, and even that,
the
like,
Swifties are going to be so upset.
Oh, I know they're not gonna get their concert.
I'm okay with that.
and now we're looking at the possibility of, like we were saying, the worst case scenarios, like say Dodger season, there might not even be a baseball season if they're not going to be able to have games until
I think we're gonna
September.
have a baseball season.
These guys here. Hi.
And then I know they interviewed Kershaw, and Kershaw says he didn't think that the Arizona plan was going to happen.
Well,
said-
it sounds like the Arizona plan's out, but it sounds like Florida, with the help of the WWE, opened up a can of worms about the future of sports in Florida.
Yeah.
About wrestling being considered an essential business.
Yeah,
That's
so
fine.
Well,
that kind
in the
of
state of Florida,
yeah,
in
it
the
kind
state
of opens the
Florida,
doors for
because
the minor league teams. The minor league
Yeah.
with the spring training teams in Florida. So you can actually do what we talked about earlier, the Cactus League versus the Cactus League and then the
So you're going to have the
Open
whole
League.
entire league in Florida, and
Yeah.
no fans, just play a season. I don't know,
Oh,
Empty stadium, kind of like in Japan.
right?
and Korea.
I mean, honestly, obviously it can't happen right away like in an actual stadium and stuff like that, but I don't know, I feel like it'd be weird. I wouldn't feel like it'd be the same if, like we said, the Dodgers won a championship. It just wouldn't feel like a legit title. I don't know. It still feels like an extended spring training.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I mean, the first sports we might be watching is probably gonna be football. It's looking like, right? Like there's
well,
nothing.
golf. There's a
Well, no,
golf. Golf
golf-
just set up a date for their start date,
What is that?
June 11th. No crowds in Texas.
June 11th. Oh my God! Of all the days.
And
Was
then
that Doomsday or what?
Or
That is
whatever
the
that.
year the day the Kings won their first Stanley Cup.
I actually think we're gonna get baseball going in Arizona and 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 in
what's those?
Florida sooner than you think.
Did someone say Kings Stanley Cup?
Yeah, I said June 11th was the day the Kings. Yeah, there you go. Look at that.
take
That's
that,
actually June
Sa-
13th, right on that one.
Damn.
Take that, San Jose. 0 Stanley Cups. 0.
DJ, how'd you get on the ice, DJ?
Yeah, good.
Security's
my
gonna run down
God.
and tackle you. Watch.
Oh my God, this is amazing.
You guys, I'll be right back. I'm gonna put the Wi-Fi on my phone here.
Handles, bro.
I just left by accident.
BRB.
Boostos, your audio was still here though. It was like you never
Yeah.
left at all.
No, because remember
Oh,
I
yeah.
had two. You remember I had two. So my audio one is still working. My video one went dead.
Did those? Ah. Oh, Actually, we had a lot of stuff in sports happen. Two
What
people
else?
died.
The
Oh, yeah.
the Yankee owner, the half Yankee owner.
Uh,
And
yeah,
Carl Anthony Towns' mom.
Yeah.
and freaking Tavares Jackson too.
Yeah, guy from
Oh,
Seattle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It sucks that the
Oh
only
my-
news we get to talk about is who died. When it
I
comes to
know.
sports, like it's so depressing. Just like, oh, who died this week, guys?
dude.
Not from
So-
coronavirus either.
Well, one of them,
Who?
but not him.
Well, one of them, yeah.
Yeah. I think Christian left for real.
Yeah, he was switching.
Christian
it.
left?
He
No,
was switching
Christian
to his
left.
Wi-Fi.
Said he's
Yeah,
turning on
Wi-Fi went.
There he is.
My laptop went dead.
So if you need to stop being on your laptop all day and charge it.
Well, I didn't. My cord was loose, and then I gotta restart it right now.
Yeah.
Why you got that loose cord for?
Yeah.
It's not. It's on a soft surface like a bed. It's not on a. It's not on a table.
Okay, back to my video game.
This is
That's
like,
what he
I'm-
calls it, video games. Oh,
All right, I'm back.
See, that can just. I have a controller right here.
So in the
Your
comments, Christian, your boy Dinner is saying he never said which opening day with WWE McMahon and his wife have ties to Trump and Florida GOP, hence WWE being declared essential. And Christian was secretly rooting
Yeah,
for a June 9th start date. A nice date. June 9th.
9. The 6th month of the year, June 9th.
69.
6, 9.
Wow.
69. It's hilarious.
Can't control him.
Can't control him.
Gonna hope to contain him.
Right.
But that's weird though. WWE considered essential in Florida. That's the most
kinda-
funniest
So
thing ever.
are there still going to be fans in the stands? Or it's
But
just
no fans.
It's going to be the
Just-
awkward,
Yeah, the awkward, no crowds.
no crowd wrestling that everyone's
Yeah.
making fun of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
It's
sure
so,
they
it's so dumb.
Sounds working now.
yeah, because I'm sure they're just right there caring about the pay-per-view as far as that revenue. That's where they make the most money.
Well, their network and stuff, and their contract with Fox. I heard the only reason why that WWE wants to go live still because they have like a clause in the contract that if they don't go live, that they have-
Bustos, your controller clicking is just
They lose a lot of
all up
money.
in the audio right now.
I know,
Alright.
Bustos.
You're getting mad at Christian for the background noise, and you're just like.
Okay, that's off then.
Hey, dude, you can't hear mine, can you?
No, I didn't even know you were
No.
playing. I thought you were just
No.
studying for an exam.
No. No, I'm playing. I'm
No,
playing
sir.
I
NHL
thought
20 right now.
you're doing your homework.
Imagine.
Can you hear it now?
wish.
No.
Still?
Yeah, I can hear. I can still hear it. Bustos. I say you just stop. Bustos, I can still hear. I can still hear
Okay.
it. Did he die?
What'd you do?
Nailed it.
What'd you do to him?
Nailed
My
it.
phone.
Why are his
Oh
glasses
my God.
fogging?
Because he's going hard. That's why.
My computer sucks right now.
Bustos, we told you
boo-boo.
why. We told
How'd
you
you
what.
go to the Laker game without us?
I did. Those were my
Because
seats.
Bustos probably took him.
I know.
Now,
Damn.
Bustos just sent me the video afterwards.
Oh my god.
Oh, man.
Just after the fact. So I don't know if did you guys see the horse tournament that the NBA had on ESPN the last
Yes.
couple days? I tried
No, I
watching
didn't
it,
see it.
dude. It was so boring. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I was
it was
didn't
bad.
watch it.
I was so bored.
I mean, we could have created a better horse game, basically.
Yeah, it was just like
I
And
didn't
so-
catch it. Was it that bad?
Yeah.
honestly, it was like really bad. It was
It was
like there's
basically
two separate locations, so they're basically doing a Skype call.
Oh
of
my God,
horse,
playing horse? That's
Yeah.
horrible.
Yes.
and like they're cutting the feed back and forth, and I don't know. I would just like watch like 2 rounds, and this midway through the second round, I was just like over this.
Yeah, it was bad.
Time to go watch Impractical Jokers.
Impractical Jokers or nothing. Or 90 Day Fiance.
Oh, that was the one actually.
Hey, how
Guilty.
great was
Oh
it
my
when that rat was on the floor?
She's like, the mouse? He's like, that's a rat. And no one else
I-
knows.
It's okay. It's okay. Don't panic. I'm
So-
here. I'm here.
Yeah, that you guys don't know what's going on, but there's this little troll guy who went to the Philippines to go get a wife, and she like lived in like just rough conditions, and he was accustomed to the United States. So while he was over there, it was in the middle of like some big storm, and he was like getting covered with water while he was sleeping, and there was like a rat that was in the room, and he was just like having a full on meltdown. But it was funny because the guy's not the greatest guy ever. So
Oh my god, guys, you guys need to get on your 90-day fiance fix, please. Oh, damn,
these
this,
guys are like, no.
You know what sports need to do? They should do like what golf did the last 2 days, the Masters. Have the superstars commenting what they felt or what they feel like what's going on in the moment, breaking it down instead of just showing the replays.
You know who I feel like is doing worst with the quarantine? Like I feel like NBA is trying the most cool stuff. Like they had the horse game, they got the 2K20 tournament. Like they're trying to make the best of the situation. I know baseball's doing it. I feel like hockey's doing the least. I don't know.
Yeah, hockey is definitely doing the least. I mean,
Yeah.
didn't they have
They
the MLB had the MLB show tournaments the last 2 days?
like the only thing hockey's done is like they did a Zoom call with like one player from every team, like per
yeah,
division.
who did the division?
Yeah, and I was just like, I mean, that's cool, but you guys,
Yeah. I mean, I think with hockey too, everyone went home too. I know a lot of players went back to
Yeah.
Canada. I mean, but you can do a lot of the stuff virtually. But yeah, I don't know. I
It
mean, besides
sounds
play
like
NHL 20, what else can you really do?
hockey regular season is done, based on what I've heard from Bettman
yeah,
the
I know
last couple of days.
Dowdy wasn't confident either. Stephen Leal in the comments said, "Did you guys get a chance to hear the Dowdy conference call?" I didn't.
I did. I
What
heard
was it?
some of it.
What was it?
You were just basically said basically short, nothing interesting. Just like you said, the season looks like it's gonna be
That
done
it's
for regular
done.
season.
Yeah, because their issue is getting ready to start up for next season, which would be usually September's training camp. Season's October, and that's when it looks like things would get starting again. So it makes sense that there
Yeah,
wouldn't be.
the draft order should have been coming out soon too, or should have actually.
So what's funny is that last game against the Ottawa Senators is gonna drop the Kings 2 picks. If they would have lost that game, they would have had the second overall pick. But the fact that we won that last meaningless game on that winning streak, now we're getting the fourth overall
Damn
pick.
it. Hey, tripping. Hey, we got a top 5 pick.
Hashtag that's so Kings.
Oh yeah, definitely the
Yeah.
Kings.
You know what I mean? Like a meaningless
Peak Los
game
Angeles Kings.
in a meaningless lost season. And
We
So
got
like, oh,
four.
now you guys
gonna
want to
cost
start
you
having a
two.
fucking winning streak.
unless they do a lottery, I mean a straight lottery, and the odds are based off of the standings, and we can luck out and win that top pick.
Yeah, but knowing our luck, it'll be like
We'll
Vegas
drop
was
even
first.
more.
Yeah.
Down in eighth,
We'll drop down to 32.
right?
We'll just drop out of the first round.
Right. I would hope that we can luck out in that and make up for it. But
I mean, I think they just end the season as is and just let's get to the draft and where we're drafting.
it's so crazy, just like losing a season, like no outcome. That's insane. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Like you said, though, if there's no NHL season, we did have the last game. And if you guys think about it too, you guys were at the last major sporting event in the United States.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we were the late night game. Well, for the East Coast,
and
we were the late night game.
the Ronas were in the building too.
Yep.
Yep.
In the
We
locker room.
survived.
We were
We
there with it.
survived.
I was just pissed off I couldn't get a refill on my drink that night.
Oh, because
Oh,
they
that's
wouldn't
right,
they wouldn't
that's
take your
right.
cups.
You can do
Yeah.
refills.
They stopped the refills.
Yeah, you can do
for your
refills on
souvenir
the
cups.
souvenir.
That's funny.
I forgot I had like a couple like designated driver coupons, and I'm like, I'm just gonna throw them away because they were gonna expire at the end of the 2019-2020 like Staples Center sporting season. Anyway,
That's what I was saying too. Because the second to the last game, I bought a Bailey's Buddy bag because I wanted the Stadium Series one. So I was like, I'll just buy one. And then there's a Knott's Berry Farm ticket in there. There's an Ontario Reign ticket in there. I'm like, man, all these expire in June, and there's
I want my money back.
right.
Can I have your Popcornopolis coupon then?
You actually can. Wait, you
Dude,
gotta
I got
ask. gotta ask
Popcornopolis.
Kristen.
I got Popcornopolis
Just kidding.
coupons for days.
Yeah, same here.
I'll trade you for a Big Mac coupon. How about
Let me get that Big Mac coupon.
You got to get the double Big Mac, man.
Dude, you
Right.
should have told him I'll trade you for some toilet paper.
that? the only currency we use. Squares of toilet paper.
I think meat's the next one to run out. They're saying.
Oh, really?
Wait, what?
You talking about toilet paper? You talking about toilet paper, y'all?
They're not gonna run out of toilet paper.
Did you hear
Boostos.
like the?
Let's
did
talk.
you-
Why are you stealing
Let's
toilet
talk.
paper from
Dude.
the transit bathroom?
No, that was
Kristen got the roll of toilet paper and it's like this big. It's like the ones inside the arenas.
no, I couldn't.
All hard and shit.
Yeah, it's like paper towels. Boostos, who's saying meat's gonna run out?
Well, they're saying because a couple of the factories got corona.
What?
Well, I guess we gotta go make our own meat.
Yeah.
Beyond Meat.
You're gonna become a
So-
cannibal,
Yeah.
Boostos.
Woo, quickie. I know, kind of just yeah. You just gonna, you know what's gonna happen, Boostos? We're gonna start eating each other.
It's gonna happen.
Whoa.
Dogs
Who's-
first.
Boostos, you're the weakest. You're going first.
Yeah. Yep.
But I feed a
I have
family of
the-
6, so.
I have the least meat,
What?
guys.
It's harder. You're more of a fight. You'll put up a fight against us. Boostos,
Yeah.
we'll just have him. He's the appetizer.
He's
I'm
an
just.
appetizer.
I'm just. I'm
He's
just.
not an
Snack.
appetizer. He's like a freaking kid's meal.
All right. He's the happy meal.
Dude.
God.
Not even that. He's like the apple slices.
Okay, so back to Rams news. The Rams got a kicker, 2 kickers actually, from the CFL, and I can't even say this guy's last name, Tommy.
I didn't know his name. I don't know his name, and I don't care.
So
I have no
I was-
clue who he
Tommy's
is.
I
so
have-
pissed
I
at
have
the
no-
Rams
yeah.
right now.
I have no idea who
Yeah.
he is, but I was looking
I
him up,
mean-
and I guess he's one of the top kickers in the CFL.
They're gonna have a
And
bad
he-
year this year.
He did over 10.
Yeah, you
Over
know who's
10
gonna have a bad year,
50-yard field
Bustos? You
goals.
are.
I always
Oh,
have
how
a bad
many?
year.
How many?
He was 10 for 10 in field goals over 50 yards last season in the CFL in the hardest stadium in the CFL, from what I read. So we'll see.
What team
Oh,
Toronto.
Oh.
in the CFL? Toronto Argonauts. Okay, they play at BMO Field. That's where Toronto FC plays at in soccer.
And somebody said that's the hardest stadium to kick field goals.
Is that
in
where the Raiders
CFL.
played
Yeah,
last
it's
year?
right on the. Yeah, it's right on the water. Actually, it's on the waterfront in Toronto.
damn! He kicks out the water. You know he's good.
So he'll be able to kick through that new stadium. Hopefully.
The new
Yeah, he
stadium when
shouldn't have
our freaking logo is actually our old logo, and then they got a stupid logo.
So
Yep, that
how
stadium.
does that? Yeah, how does that
Right.
make sense? The whole time they were building that, they're like, oh, they're building it after the Rams logo. They're building it after the Rams logo, and then before the stadium opens, the Rams changed the logo.
Hey Rico,
Yep.
add me to the new one. I'm trying to try that one.
That is seriously a stupid
Damn,
logo.
Rico, he wants you to add him.
I should have removed
Add
them.
him.
Adam Rico.
Remove them.
Rico, don't add him. Do not add him, Rico.
Sorry,
don't
too
add
late. I
him.
already did. There's a delay. Oh my God, there's 2 of these guys.
Boostos. We don't need 2 Boostos kids.
We don't need 2 Boostos. Why are you
I just-
doing that?
Well, Bustos is gone on my end on the screen, and now Tommy has appeared. So
That's all that matters, right?
Lucky.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what?
all
I
that,
can hide
that's all
him.
that ever mattered.
Hold on, let me fix that.
I-
That's all that
There
ever
you go.
mattered.
Hide him.
Hide the audio.
Hide him.
There you go.
Hide his voice too, please.
Start a new chat.
Well, I'm
Why
gonna
didn't
try
you chat?
something. I'm gonna try something with it audio. So just
Boostos, we're live. We shouldn't be trying shit,
Right?
right? Right?
Watch your profile.
He said, "Wow." That the whole profanity profanity ease up is kind of like suspended for the time being.
Brownie with the
Ronas.
empty netter.
What's
Uh-oh,
the score in your
Brownie with
game,
empty
Tommy?
Everyone,
3-2.
Tommy's playing NHL 20 right now, so
3-2.
Yeah.
Are you up?
Yeah, I'm up right now.
Are you playing online?
Now I'm playing my season.
Uh,
It's about to be 4-2 with Brownie with empty netter. Yep, there you go.
Against
I always give it a Brownie just for empty net so he can get goals.
So we need a live stream some of our games on Twitch soon.
I agree. I want to see you guys play each other.
See? There you go. There you go. I don't know how to do that.
the
though.
battle for custody of Bustos.
No,
I
I'll
forfeit.
definitely lose on purpose.
I forfeit.
Yeah,
The
Everyone-
Boost-
Everyone's trying to throw the
Boostiana
game,
battle.
I'm just gonna leave my controller.
right?
No one wants me.
Bustos, what was?
Whoa,
What
where'd that
was
come from?
I can hear you guys. I just mute my mic.
Terminator, what's going on?
See, that's how a man Busos would sound, but you know,
It's Bustos. It's
He put-
Josh's life model decoy.
Right? He put a
Yeah.
filter on his voice so it can sound deeper. It's like, hey guys, Josh Bustos.
he sounds like freaking Will Ferrell.
All
in,
right, guys.
Old school.
Knock
When
it
he gets
off.
the tranquilizer. I feel funny. Bustos, what'd you do to your microphone? How'd you make it so deep?
I put the bass up.
The bass to max. So guys,
No.
I know it's a slow sports week. We got baseball, XFL, football signings, nothing really new in soccer, nothing really new in hockey, other than we might lose the season.
Yep. And that's all,
Yeah.
basically.
Any good NASCAR news, Rico?
Oh, Rico, NASCAR news.
Yeah, there is.
Yes.
Rico.
Okay.
Bad NASCAR news, but
It was very bad week for NASCAR. Well,
Rico's like, this is where I win.
particular driver.
This is how I win.
Get
So
her
as you
done.
guys know that they've
Get her-
had these virtual
Kyle Larson.
races. Kyle Larson said the N-word while driving, forgetting that
Racist.
forgetting that this
driving.
idiot was live broadcasting to the whole world. And what makes it worse, he said the N-word to one of the black drivers, Bubba Wallace.
What?
Makes it even super worse. So
Oh,
this got out.
God.
Obviously, it got out pretty bad. All the sponsors dropped him, which is like
Wait,
McDonald's.
when did this happen?
Sunday?
What?
Sunday.
Got
So
fired.
On the-
happened Sunday.
Was it-
Yeah, dropped by
Well,
McDonald's?
first, all the sponsors dropped. The McDonald's, Citibank, a bunch of his other sponsors,
On the day of the
which
Lord.
means you can't get funded as a race team.
Man.
So Chip Ganassi Racing, the owner of the race team, fired him
Oh,
too.
Lord, you are an idiot.
So is he basically done? Is that like a
He's
career
done.
ender?
He's done.
He's done.
Done.
It's a career ender.
He's very done.
He's gonna go to Formula 1.
Yeah.
Formula
One. Which is funny because Chip
Baby
Ganassi
Z.
Racing actually employs a lot of minority racers. They used to have Juan Pablo Montoya, which is a Latino driver, Mexican driver, and so he wasn't gonna put up with that. But
I didn't even know
again,
there was a Mexican driver.
yeah. And then Johnny
Well, now
Suarez, Johnny
knowing
Suarez
his
races
background.
too. He's
Yeah,
a Mexican driver, but it's bad for NASCAR,
yeah.
especially when they're trying to, really kind of put out the whole.
So
diversity
was
stuff
he?
out there.
He said it to the guy. He was mad at him, or what? He just.
They were just playing video games, I guess. It's like playing a video game, right? You have your boys on, and he said the N-word, but he didn't say it with the A. He said it with the ER.
The hard R.
Yeah,
Oh,
know.
hard R.
Hard
Yes.
God, no.
Yeah. It was horrible.
Jesus.
Kyle, what the?
And the thing is, he's half Japanese, so it's like you're a minority too, dude. You can't be making these kind of comments, man.
Wow.
And no matter, in any situation, but so yeah, he pretty
That
much.
was my second question too. I was like, was it GGA or was it hard R?
It was
hard
a
R.
hard R, bro. It was.
Was it GGA?
And again, this is like live stream throughout the world, Twitter, social media, and like I think someone on his pit crew or a fan was like, the whole world just heard what you just said, and that was like her
That
too.
was it.
It was it. And
And what
he
did
got
he say?
fired.
Was it like on an official NASCAR thing or like his personal?
Oh, look at his Twitch.
Well,
Oh,
Yeah.
through Twitch?
yeah, it was on Twitch, but it's being broadcasted, right?
Yeah, yeah. No, either way,
the
there's
whole
nothing.
iRacing thing.
Nothing
I need to
yet.
see this
So-
video.
And he's indefinitely suspended by NASCAR.
I
also.
too need to see this video too.
So indefinite means like he's never going back.
He's
Right?
never coming back. Then he gets fired from his race team. So again, it's
Yikes.
bad timing. This is the whole time when NASCAR's really trying to, promote their diversity program with minority
Imagine being that-
drivers, female
Imagine being
drivers.
that one sponsor that's gonna take a chance on him. You're gonna get so much backlash. So much backlash.
It was bad.
Oh yeah, he's done. His racing career is done for a little bit.
Boosted, your microphone right now.
Who's
is-
that? Who's that?
I know,
Who
I
is
know, I
that?
know the one sponsor that's
Robot
gonna
Why is it too
probably-
loud? Well, I'm trying something with my just laptop with my mic.
It's like
Can
really
you hear me?
loud.
That's all I
Yeah,
hear.
we hear you too much.
Okay.
I need to hear you a little less.
the freaking Terminator.
Bustos should get Bustos should get a background that he's in. Whoa, Cabo.
Yes, you do need a tropical background, Bustos.
Should I get a tropical background?
Yes.
I like Jason Hernandez's comment. He said one guy needs to be at Dodger Stadium, one guy at Staples, and the next guy at the Coliseum, and one guy at the Forum. So
We
try
had
that-
it.
We'll
I
try
was
that
at the
at the next stream.
Coliseum.
We'll try
I was
that
at the
next-
Coliseum and Dodger
Look at
Stadium.
DJ.
DJ was at Staples.
Hi, Elena.
DJ said hi. Christian said hi. Ugh. Go ahead, Bustos. I'm listening.
Yeah, I'm back at Staples.
You're back at Staples.
I think we
Boost-
all need green screens for the next. Oh no!
Actually,
Whatever.
Christian
Does that-
can be like live at the Honda Center right now. Just
Right.
At Anaheim Stadium.
I know.
basically.
Just go.
Really?
Just
go
go stand
outside
over
real
there.
quick, bro.
Yeah,
Walk outside.
Seriously? You guys seriously want me to go
Dude.
outside?
No,
Try
no.
it.
This is what Christian should do. You know how you see those memes where like, yeah, I went to the park and I saw some. I want to go see some ducks, so I could just boo them. Christian, you should get the flag, go to Honda Center, and be
And
like,
just start booing the building
Boo.
yes, yes.
and throw a rock
Like-
at it or something.
He throws a rock at it, and the whole building just collapses.
It's like
can't
in
even
like in Waterboy when the coach throws the ball out the window and it hits the professor on the outside. Which is the opposite. He
Yep.
throws a rock and he hits somebody on the inside.
Oh my god.
my
Denora
God.
said live from Lot A.
Christian's basically outside. You're right. Just go.
Oh my God.
Oh my god, turn it down.
Bustos, can you turn your microphone down like a hair?
It's not his. I'm telling you, he put his bass up.
That's what I'm saying. It's on the weird things. I don't know.
Oh my god.
Hey, wait,
so
you
loud.
guys. I know why it sounds like this. Because he goes on dating sites, he turns his camera off, and he needs his voice to be exactly like
I am going back to where I was going.
it's
Now
not
you
going
pissed him
anywhere.
off.
Oh my god.
You pissed him off, Tommy.
Right.
Like he's in Cabo.
He's kicking it with El Chapo right now.
Remember when we called Bustos when he was in Cabo and he answered the phone naked?
His little one his little one chest hair that he had. He's like, I gotta shave this.
Like, check it out. This bad boy just came in.
Right.
I waited 30-something years for this.
Just came in on the flight over. Poor Bustos.
I know.
Bustos,
I
you know
know.
we love you, right, Bustos?
He's like,
Just
screw
stay
you
quiet.
guys.
Right?
Screw all y'all.
He's on mute, cursing us out.
He is on mute. He's on
It's his
mute.
microphone.
It's on mute.
Is he on, why is he on mute?
I can hear you guys. I'm just missing.
Woo!
Damn!
Back to your way. Yeah.
The
This
TCC
way, the other way was better.
the TCC just commented on our channel and said Christian has yelled at sports buildings before. They can confirm. Yes, we can all confirm Christian has done something like that.
Very Christian-like. On
True
brand.
story.
On brand.
Game.
Good
Rico
to see
was
you.
with us to this game
He
3
yells
after
at trees.
game three, second round against Anaheim.
Oh my
the
god,
Kings.
with what's his name? Campbell's Super
Brian
Bowl.
Hayward.
Hazy,
Brian Hayward.
Yes.
Shout out.
Hey, we almost got
Teal
arrested that
Hunter.
night.
No, the police told me to just chill out, and I'm like, I'm chill. I wasn't threatening him. I just said he sucks.
I
I
wanna
did
know the
something
story.
a lot of Kings fans have wanted to do for a long time and tell him straight up that he sucks.
Yeah, that was great.
You know what I was watching the other day? You remember that video with him and Jim Fox, the one that everybody plays of the year, either the
It
year
aged.
before,
It was
That
2011.
aged horribly.
yeah,
No,
yeah,
2012.
aged like milk.
Yeah, right before we got our first cup. Yeah, where
Eh,
Hazy was showing off his
Yeah, and he
ring.
pulled
EJ,
out the
that was
ring.
EJ. That was the Royal Army game that we all went to on March 16th. I remember that game because I
Yeah,
didn't see that video until after I got home.
yeah, same here. But somebody reposted it recently, and I was just like, man, that thing has not aged very well. Like, and it's even
Several months later.
2 cups later, too.
yeah, especially considering the window that Jim Fox gives. Like, I know Jim Fox gets a lot of flack for different things, but
Right.
in that analysis, he was spot on. He said there's a 2 to 3 year window. He's like, I forgot what else he had said about their window, but it was basically there's a 2 to 3 year window. The guys at these ages have to perform now and do this, and sure enough, you figure that was the window. The 2 to 3 year window was when they won the 2 cups. So
Jim
insane,
Fox doesn't miss, y'all.
right? I was just like, dang. And then to see
Doesn't miss.
Brian Hayward right there, like, oh, you've never seen one of these before, which I mean, everybody has.
TCC, by the way, that's Teal City Crew, San Jose supporters group. I think that's the homie Kurt Silver. He's the founder of Teal City Crew.
Yeah,
Shout out to
good.
Kurt.
They're good people out there.
Yeah,
Kurt's
good.
the homie.
Thank you for joining us. We at the
Take
Royal
that, San
Army.
Jose. 0 cups.
We do miss them though. The Royal Army does miss them and all these gatherings and the meetups after the games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Rico, you definitely
like-
don't add Busso's other link.
Oh, God.
Hey, you
if,
said
you're
it was
still,
too.
if you're still watching on YouTube,
I'm gonna do it because he's
I'll
the
be up the Royal
Charger
Army. We'll get you a scarf. We'll get you a scarf soon.
For sure.
Oh my God, it's
We'll
his
get you
hand.
that scarf.
There's 2 of them now. Jesus.
Which what? Why is it 2?
There is.
Bustos.
I swear to God, freaking Bustos looks like Franklin the
How the
Turtle.
hell does he have 2 screens?
Also, we wanted to try something. If anybody in the chat wants to join in on this call, we had mentioned this. We wanted to add this feature at a possible future episode. We're switching it up. Usually we do this in Skype. This time we're doing it in Zoom, hence our cool little backgrounds. But Rico's the one
Starting
handling
next
this.
week, maybe. Starting next week.
Yeah, if we're not able to, because I know we have to send some stuff out, but
Yeah, DM one of us and we'll send over the the Zoom link maybe half an hour before the show, and then we can add you
Okay.
to the podcast. Yeah.
and we'll kick out
Make
Bustos'
sure you
second
install
account.
the app on your phone.
Well, I just didn't want the audio being loud because you're complaining about that.
No, you sound fine now. You sound back to
Sound
normal.
completely
Because he
fine.
added his second account back.
You sound back to normal.
His other burner account. Yeah, we
It's
can
like
add.
when Stefan turned back into Urkel.
We can add like
Because
49 people to this chat.
you didn't like the first
49?
49
Yeah.
people?
Yeah, you can add 49 here.
No.
We should-
Hey,
we
can you
don't have that
can
many
you add
people.
can you add 21?
Wow.
I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming.
Dude, no, you didn't. You would have said it
I knew it
first.
was coming.
No, you didn't.
It was a matter.
No,
It
you
was a
didn't.
matter of time. As soon as the number 49 was mentioned, I'm like, oh, 21
Yeah,
coming up.
someone said a
Christian.
number.
Christian. Busto
What?
said you didn't know. I knew you knew, but Busto is being a Debbie Downer again. Hit him with the
Yes,
NTA train, yeah.
Hey, yeah, DJ, we should do as many people as you can in one call. That would be crazy.
I didn't know you could do 49. Kurt, if
Dude.
you want to join, Kurt, I don't know if he was talking
Guys,
about joining the
I
chat,
have a
but he
great
pointed at
idea.
himself. We'll send you a link.
Since we're all in quarantine and since we can add 49 people to this, we
Uh-huh.
should have a bachelor contest for Busto.
I love
Dude.
Oh my
it.
god!
Yes.
Brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
And how do we
20
give out?
app-
How
And
do we
me.
give out roses?
We don't give out roses.
contest.
We give out glasses.
And you get my
Bachelors.
glasses.
The Hooligan Sports Bachelor Contest with me and Bustos.
Mhm.
Are you guys going to be competing against each other?
Yeah,
Yes.
for the ladies.
But
definitely.
we should add like, see, there's a thumb by my picture up here, by my video.
Yeah, I know. I just saw it right now.
We wonder if we can do like roses or something.
Oh my
Dude, that'd be great. That'd be so cool. Oh my
Oh, because you're doing
God.
that on your desktop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
desktop.
All right, I just sent a link to Kurt from Teal City Crew to get him in on this call. I used the link that you gave me, Rico, so you might have to approve him.
Yeah, I'll see it.
Hey, Rico, is that why you posted the other day about how people should like put passwords or like put
Yeah.
these like closed windows so
set-
people
Yeah,
can
so
get-
people
Set
so
him
like
the
people don't
password
get
too,
like
DJ. He needs
Oh,
a password. Again.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can get Zoom bombed and like someone could come in and like show their.
I mean,
videos.
why
Yeah,
not get
that
Zoom?
happens.
We could get Zoom bomb. It's not the end of the world for us.
What's a Zoom bomb?
We're not famous enough for a Zoom bomb.
Yeah,
Yes,
definitely not.
I mean,
Wait, so Zoom bomb is what considered what?
When an internet troll hijacks a Zoom.
What's up,
Comcast.
Kurt? Kurt
What's
made
up?
it.
All right. Are y'all ready? Because it is Hooligan Podcast.
Yes.
And I had to do something.
Look at this bearded
So I brought
god.
this my back out. Oh.
There you go.
Yes.
You rep some
Yeah.
LA.
Yes.
I
Yes.
appreciate it repping some of LA. I know
How
Kurt,
much I miss LA food.
but as far as baseball teams go, are the Dodgers are your team, right? Who's your
Yeah.
Dodgers were my first and foremost. I stayed off after basically I left the Dodger fan
The
base
McCourt.
during the
The
McCourt era.
McCourt thing.
Oh.
Because
I
I
mean,
was
a lot of
outside, like
people.
I was outside the stadium with all the people that were, protesting, and I did the logo for a documentary that was supposed to come out, never came out, called Blue Revolution or something like that.
And it was all about the McCourt backlash
Yeah,
from all
McCourt
that.
era stuff. So
I mean, that'd be a great actually documentary to actually get a full documentary now.
oh
about
yeah,
that.
and the fact that he still owns the
The parking
the-
lot. Yeah.
is nuts.
It's like
That
a
bugs me,
Metro.
okay. That doesn't
Dodge
bug
Team
me. I don't know
Express,
why
cool,
it
let's go.
doesn't.
Honestly, I've said this before. The fact that he divided the parking lot and the team was probably one of the smartest things I've seen an owner pull off. Like his hand was being forced. He had to sell the team, but he was smart enough to be like, I still want to make money. I'm going to separate the team.
Because he makes money
assets.
off every event.
Yeah,
Even
exactly.
like the LA Marathon or any like things that go
And
through
then
that
yeah,
park,
and then
he
you
makes
see
money off that.
during playoffs every round he raises the price
Yeah,
of parking.
Well,
And-
that's an MLB thing.
I
for
don't know.
event.
But he gets a cut of that.
yeah.
He
There's no
has-
way he's
that's
not
his
making
property.
crazy money off this.
Oh, he has flat protection over like ownership of the lot, because that's
Yeah.
where he makes his money. He still owns half of the parking lots in Boston.
That's crazy. Like
Oh,
that's a real businessman move that he pulled off. That he was just able
Well,
to like divide those assets.
This just cements me like taking the shuttle from Union Station every time now.
What do you mean?
Don't pay
not to
McCourt.
pay him. Not to pay
Take
him.
the shuttle. Don't pay McCourt.
Take the
I am
shuttle. Go
glad he's
Metro to
go-
Dodger Stadium.
Hey, I'm
everybody
glad he's
walk in.
gone, but McCourt wasn't as bad as people make him out to be.
No, he wasn't. But he was bad.
Rico,
Yeah, he
could
was
you
bad,
get
but
rid of
don't-
Busto's audio box?
Yeah,
from
hold
the
on. Let
thing?
me right click his name really quick.
Yeah.
Who's just hush your mouth. Hush your mouth.
I mean, he's like, I only want to talk about Andrew Friedman.
Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth.
Like,
I will slander Andrew Friedman. Do it.
go ahead.
Wow. Why Bustos?
And I will use
Not really. I'm just kidding. I actually don't mind Andrew Freeman. He's
use
the
that
ultimate
against you. For people who
he's the
slander.
ultimate finesse god.
I was gonna say,
You
didn't you
got-
start Andrew Friedman Finesse God or something like that?
Yeah, I know. I'm just joking. I'm like finesse god.
Yeah.
Dude,
He's like,
think-
I'm gonna give you Mookie Betts. Like, oh, you
Think
want Devin
about-
Bush? No, I'm gonna give you Verdugo though.
Speaking about Mookie Betts, imagine like the season doesn't freaking happen and we just lose out on him.
Oh yeah,
Like-
and that goes with any of the sports, right? We lose. I mean, look
All
at
the
the
1
Lakers,
year,
Anthony
yeah.
Davis, Mookie Betts. I mean, it
Dude.
sucks.
And what
I
sucks
think the
about
hardest one is the loner players. Like at the end of the hockey season. Think of all the
Yeah.
loner players that got traded at the end of the year.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the
right?
Yeah.
Kings benefit from that this year.
I mean, it still depends. Also, Bustos, just so you know, Kurt right here is diehard Sharks fan, probably one of the biggest Sharks fans around here.
Well, the
He
Sharks
has
benefit too.
this huge but he has this huge Sharks group. It's pretty popular.
We literally just mentioned it earlier.
So,
Teal
I
City
so
seriously
when you,
just noticed that right
yeah,
now.
Teal City Crew. So when you're like benefits the Kings, Kurt's just like, I don't care. I don't care. He's like, if
I've-
anything, I want the opposite.
5 against 1.
This is also true. but for everybody else, yeah, benefits to teams.
Bustos is like, everyone has my back. I'm definitely gonna talk shit to him.
Right? This is like there's
I've
only
I've
one lone Sharks fan.
I've seen the worst. I've had the worst. I've experienced the worst. You cannot top anything that's happened to me.
So,
I
Kurt,
mean,
what's
you definitely can't top 3-0 lead. I wouldn't.
yeah,
That's
Wow.
horrible.
that's pretty bad. Kurt, what's
That's
the
bad.
news up in San Jose?
Kurt,
What's
I'm
it
so
looking
sorry
like?
to guess.
In COVID wise, sports
Just
wise, all of
sports
it.
wise, any insider news?
Santa Clara is not going to have any sports until at least Thanksgiving. That's I mean,
Really?
the Earthquakes have lost their full season. There's
Man.
no way that they can
Who the
play.
hell are they?
The soccer team.
Earthquake.
I appreciate that because
Who the
I
hell
hate.
are Earthquakes?
Yeah, because up north the coronavirus rules are a little bit more strict. You know,
Well, it's because
Frisco down.
we're such an international county. We
Right.
we have such a lot. Yes, LA is one of the biggest hubs of the world, but San Jose has one of the biggest hubs for Chinese, Indian,
Yeah, like the whole
Korean.
tech industry.
Hey, don't
entire
forget the
tech industry.
Filipinos, man.
The Filipinos are in Daly City. Okay.
Daly, that's right, and Union City, Daly and Union City. We're up there, man.
Yep.
Cowtown.
But and that's what
Cowtown.
that's what I tell
Lava
people.
Fest.
Everything starts from like the Bay down up there. What they do up there is eventually going to end up in LA. They're the first ones to lock the city. Well, I guess lockdown or quarantine, whatever you call it, and then migrating down. To
I lost
LA.
my job. I lost my job before March. I was losing hours in late February when people were going, "Oh, this is getting serious." Now I work at a bowling alley, so everything. I mean, people are touching objects. You know what? I'm going to say it. People are touching balls all day.
There it is.
Wait, the
And
bowling alleys are open?
no,
No, they were.
God, no.
Oh, I was about to say what?
They were losing. They were losing. I'm not going to say my company just because I'm saying insider stuff, but
Oh, you can say insider stuff. Don't worry.
Shut your
No,
mouth.
but for his sake, though.
Just trying to get everyone in trouble.
yeah, but
Look, now it's
it's one of
5
those
against
things.
1. It's us against Bustos.
And it flipped now.
If flip flop.
Kurt, you just got 4 allies in the chat.
Okay, cool. But yeah, so like it hit us early on for non-essentials, and we weren't closed, but instead of working 5 days a week, I was working 3 days a week, and then I started getting 1 day a week, and then we realized that all of our clients, which we have high-profile clients being in Silicon Valley,
Right.
everybody disappeared, and we
Yeah,
lost.
I'm sure Google
3
threw
million.
the best parties up there.
Apple, Google.
Yeah.
They
Big company parties.
not even big company parties. We're talking twice a week in different departments. So
Wow.
the loss of, we're talking over $1 million every week. And so we closed officially March 14th. That was the day that everybody closed. But technically, I was already at unemployment hours in late February.
Did you claim unemployment?
I've been having trouble because I am not an early riser. Second of all, every time I call, I'm on a more than 2 hour wait, and it just.
I hear that.
You can do it online
all day.
Tomorrow morning.
Yeah,
I'm calling at 8 a.m.
Why don't you do it online?
Bustos, do it for
Even
him.
online.
I want someone to do it for me.
Do it for him, Bustos.
I literally did mine like 3 weeks ago. It's a long process though. It took me like
So I'd
2
rather just tell somebody. They ask me the question, I do it. And
I did 2 weeks to get I just got my first debit card.
We know Bustos.
Bustos is doing that
Takes forever. So
Why is he
doing that
flaunting?
flex.
No, I'm just saying, you're not going to get
it's
any.
like, I got my
unemployment for a
stimulus
while.
check a week ago.
He's like,
I'm sorry.
"Oh."
I don't even know you, and I'm already throwing shade. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. Everyone does.
You're already part of us if you are.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm just saying, when you do, it's going to take a long time to get anything back.
Yeah.
Bustos is like, you
Because it
guys
took
haven't
like
got
3 weeks.
stimulated yet?
No.
Ooh, did someone say stimulated?
That's Bustos.
And I think the hardest part is that we're going to be, we were hit first, and we're going to be most affected last.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if you're hearing earlier. We had said Newsom today said don't expect any basically large gatherings or anything like that through summer. Like basically, summer's
Oh, yeah.
canceled.
Yeah.
As funny as
Yeah.
that
As long as
sounds.
Halloween, I'm just saying Halloween's on a full moon on a Saturday, and it's we get an extra hour
That's
for
right.
Oh
Like,
my
yeah,
god.
yeah, it's the
let us have
ultimate,
that. Let us have that.
the ultimate Halloween.
Wasn't it like all the major good holidays landed on a
Well, on the
Saturday this
weekend.
year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cinco de
Dude,
Mayo's
my-
on a Saturday, huh?
Yeah, that was the big thing about 2020. Everything 4th of July, yeah, was all landing on the weekend.
God was like, hey, psych!
Psych.
2020
So
has just
Kurt,
been canceled.
The
do you
the Rona's was like shit.
do you still consider the Kings your guys' biggest rivals, or is it Vegas now?
It's Vegas.
Vegas.
I'm not even. I'm not. It's not even. It's not even just the media. It's the fans. For me, I've always saw the Ducks being the bigger rival between the two Sharks and Ducks. But then of course 2010, 20 it just from 2010 on it changed everything. That changed the dynamic to the Kings. Vegas comes in. There's this weird vibe from everybody, just because it's not just a new team, but it's this weird team of we've cheated everybody out of
Right.
everybody's second line. I'd rather have
The whole team
four
was a second
lines
line
of
team.
a
Yeah.
all four lines being a second. You had no fourth line. You had
Yeah.
no first line, but you had no fourth line.
Yeah.
I'll
The
take
whole
it.
team was second liners.
And it's
That's
funny
exactly
too
true.
because I feel like most of the division kind of agreed pretty quickly that Vegas was the team. I feel like everybody started to hate just because they had so much success so early. And like I said, they made it to the finals the first time. And
Vegas managed to bring the entire state of California together.
then not only that, to
Dude.
add like an an immediate obnoxious fan base that had the entitlement
They're-
because like they had never lost. They don't know what the pain of losing or having losing seasons. They just came in, tore it up, and were obnoxious about
Until
it.
last year.
But so they got like zero sympathy from
No,
it.
they still have. They still have. They still have. It's not even until last year. They're still. They think that they were ripped of a fair series.
Well,
and-
you don't give up 5 goals.
No,
That's what they
exactly.
did. That's
Oh
exactly what they
well,
did.
it wasn't a penalty. Well, it was. It
It was.
sucks to suck. And it. As a Sharks fan, let me tell you. Oh my gosh, we have another guest.
That's
Oh,
the
that's
newest
adorable.
hooligan.
Oh, yeah.
Baby Zach. Yeah.
Oh, Zach Attack.
And
Zach Attack, he's calm.
That's Bustos' big brother, by the way.
What happened?
Little Johnny Hecker Sotelo, aka Johnny Hecker.
but yeah,
Yes.
so it was really what was I saying? Anyway, it's a strange dynamic that like you guys are very lucky that you guys created that rivalry between the Coyotes because it was so unique. But for us, it was almost like forced down our throats after, especially after the game, because
And I remember too when they first announced the Vegas team was going to join the league. I think everybody right away thought that they were going to be the Coyotes' main like rival, I guess, because of like the desert thing,
or
like,
even Anaheim.
and that was going to be the thing. And it's funny
Right.
because the two teams have been, I feel like, the Sharks and the Kings in the division as far as like immediately. There's a rivalry born, and there's just fan bases don't like each other. The
And then they
teams don't
wrecked
like each
it.
other. Yeah, and then
And they come in wrecking the whole league.
including us. Yeah, we got. I mean,
And that
got
was
steamrolled.
remember guys that was after the Vegas tragedy also, right? That
Also true.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
And then,
it was the
and-
perfect story. It was, and I hate saying that because that's terrible to say, but it was a perfect
It's a perfect story. Yep,
Yeah.
it was.
and I felt bad for Vegas fans. I have family and friends that live in Vegas, but when they started wrecking everyone, I was like, wait a minute,
Yeah.
the fans got cocky after. I think I went to Vegas like around what is that, April,
Oh, yeah.
after they eliminated us that first year.
The
Yeah.
fans definitely got cocky.
And I was just talking to
Dude.
Vegas fans, congratulating them, congratulating the dealers, hey, and they're just like cocky, like, no, we had that all along. They're like, oh my God, you guys are just jerks now.
Yeah.
No, dude, I was
Right.
there when they were in the Stanley Cup. Me and Orlando went, and I wore my Hooligan hockey Kings shirt. I don't know how many fights I almost got
Hashtag
into.
support your local hooligans.
Yeah.
Dude, they're ass. Dude.
They are. They
Were
got
you
really
were you
cocky.
instigated at all?
I was yes, I did.
And
And I was ready to throw down. There was a DJ at Tom Urban's, and he was a Vegas fan, and I think that was game, I think 5 in Washington, and
Well,
Washington won.
Well,
Was it game? It don't matter, but he talked so much, and I went back and forth with him. And after the game was done, I went to go find him, and I went up to him, and then he called one of his buddies and
What?
called security. Yeah, at Tom Urban's. At Tom Urban's, and I was just like, "Are you effing kidding me?" And me and Alana left, and it was hilarious because we left with full beers. That's what I love about Vegas. Right side about Vegas, I had 2 full beers, and I said, "Oh, you want a to-go cup?"
IPAs.
And I was like, "Yes, I do." Yes, it was IPAs, but I was so trashed. We went back to the hotel room.
With your
I had a
to-go
full
cup?
beer in the morning. I had a full beer to-go cup in the morning
With your cereal.
after I threw up.
And people always ask me too, and I take these polls, and they always ask, who's your most hated team? Who, is it the Ducks? No, it's not even the Ducks or Sharks anymore. It's the damn Knights. I cannot stand the Knights.
Vegas has
think
shown
there's
up with a vengeance.
I think I've learned that there's a difference between rivalry and hated team.
Yeah.
A rivalry is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Yankees and Red Sox. That's a fun series because they hate each other, but it was expected. But now, like, my favorite rivalry will always be LA. And that's personal. I lived in LA for 20 years. If you guys don't know my backstory, I lived in LA for 20 years. I did have a chance to move back up to where I was born, up here in the Bay Area. And, but, it'll always be the Kings in the sense that without the Kings, there was no Sharks. Without the Seals, there would be no Kings. The success wouldn't have been as great if you didn't have 2 teams.
No, the Seals, but the Seals and Kings are part of the expansion 6.
Well, no, I'm saying, but the prolonged success.
Oh, okay.
You had to saturate that market, and then you had everybody from NorCal being a Kings fan because that was the only option you had.
Right.
That or wherever you're from, because no one's from the Bay Area, you're from somewhere else.
Well, just like Vegas too, right? Vegas Knight fans, they were either a Sharks, a Kings, or a Ducks fan, or maybe even an Arizona fan at one time.
Oh, they were Kings fans. Come on.
There's a lot of Avs fans that could frozen Furies.
Yeah,
I know there's a lot of Kings fans.
Yeah, Clark County was,
there were Roadrunner
Clark
fans
County
too.
was primarily Kings and Avs fans.
Well, the MLS poll just came out for the big US map that they always have, the most popular team. And the Earthquakes were on the list of the most popular team in Nevada.
I don't forget those.
Which was weird. The Earthquakes, I think, also were the top team in California last year, right?
But
this year it's LAFC. I think.
And great marketing. Great marketing
Yeah.
by the Earthquakes last season, where they posted all their billboards around Dignity Health Center.
That was a couple years ago.
It was a couple years ago.
Look at these
guys.
guys.
The epicenter.
Yeah, the epicenter.
Yeah,
and they posted
that was a great
all
marketing.
around Carson.
And it's funny. This year they started doing a lot of, especially with the Sharks being internationally owned. We're owned by a German as well, but actually living in Germany. And the Earthquakes took advantage of it by doing like hashtag for San Jose. And so now they're the local team, and the Sharks are the big wigs, I guess.
That's fine.
So it's almost like they flip-flopped your city's team.
And being like overall, how are the Earthquakes up in the Bay Area as far as like would you still consider them the smallest team of all the teams up there? As far as the major, I guess, 5 pro sports?
No. It is a tie. I think because San Jose is so unique, that they have so many. They do have a lot of fans. It doesn't look like it on TV if you ever watch, but it's because of the giant outdoor bar. They're always behind the bar, and you can't see them on screen.
I still have yet to go to a match there.
They're 18,000 people. They're 18 to 20,000 people per game, and that's more than the Sharks pull. So arguably, you could say that they're technically more successful in arena, getting people into their stadium.
Is that just a capacity issue, or like if the Sharks could potentially bring more?
We don't sell out anymore.
Oh, they don't sell.
It's all corporate tickets.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's with everyone though. Everything's
Yo,
corporate
baby
tickets,
Zach
man.
is unhappy right now.
Yeah.
I'm talking way too much Bay Area sports.
Baby Zach is not happy
Oh,
right now.
it's a good outtake on insight on sports around our state too. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've been I think this could go to a whole new episode, and if you guys are interested, I've been dipping into the sports marketing of supporters clubs and the sustainability, especially post COVID, when they're going to need people to fill up those seats. Because I'm talking to people from Detroit City FC, which is Division III football, soccer. People from New Mexico United.
Yo, Tommy, mute your mic until
Yeah.
you talk.
Huh?
Mute your mic.
No, I'm gonna have to go, dude, because the baby's really restless.
All
I'm
right.
gonna have to help Atlanta.
Give
All
him a
right, no
beer.
worries.
So
Give him IPA.
I'll see you guys later.
All right.
See you, Tommy.
Okay. Bye-bye. Later, Tommy.
Daddy duties.
Yeah, dude, because I was just like, oh my god, I
Duties.
can't hear right now.
Yeah, I was trying to concentrate. I didn't want to say anything. But yeah, it's the dynamics of sports is changing because it's such a globalized market as well, that it's communities like you guys, communities like Royal Army, communities both at Galaxy and LAFC. There's a spot for everyone. And it's the responsibility of everyone to bring the community back into stadiums, that the dollar bill is not as powerful as the organic dollar bill. I think the organic dollar bill is worth 10 times more than the corporate overlord dollar bill.
What do you
They
mean?
could
As
play in
far
an
as
empty
like,
stadium.
as far as like actual fans being there compared to, you're saying like sponsors and all those kind of corporate tickets?
Yeah, I mean, there's 5,000 corporate tickets that go unused almost
Yeah.
every game.
It's
The
funny.
stadiums all of our stadiums are looking like this. Anything that's by Ticketmaster,
Yeah,
Tickets Now,
exactly.
whatever,
StubHub,
anything,
yeah.
StubHub, they're all the bad guy.
And I think I told DJ this a couple months ago back at the Hooligan Hockey headquarters. You cannot buy the first 3 rows at the new SoFi Stadium. You cannot buy any tickets in any section. The first 3 rows because
not for sale.
StubHub owns all of them. The
But
first 3 row of every section. Yeah,
Are
which
those
is
guys
crazy.
gonna go out of business without the?
Oh yeah,
tickets?
you got no fans. Yeah, you got no sales right now. So
You even saw like
and they'll-
Ticketmaster right now. I think they said they're not issuing refunds for.
yeah, a lot of people are pissed off about that.
Yeah.
They're giving credit.
They're like, nah, we'll keep that money and we'll get you back later. Don't worry about that.
Now, are any of you guys season ticket holders for Kings right now?
Kings and Dodgers.
Gotcha.
Dodgers.
Have you guys received any compensation? For us, we haven't received anything.
You guys had an option, right, DJ?
Yeah.
To either get credit for next season.
Yeah, basically,
We
you
usually
find
have
credit into next season.
They do give us our money back if we push, but over the years I've just not pushed for our money back and just roll over to the next season.
Yeah, we haven't received any news, anything.
Well,
you had a question for me, Josh.
Yeah, I was going to ask, what do you? I know you're in the Bay Area, and question.
Yeah.
From your point of view, when do you think we'll get fans in the stadiums? Back in there.
In our own stadiums? That's another question. Because we can play at other stadiums with other people, but at our homes at all 30 stadiums.
Yeah.
To be honest, it could be a full season.
Yeah, that's what's crazy, and it seems more and more realistic. Like at first, when it first happened, we were like, "Oh, maybe a month or two." Now, maybe
you are not going to rush it, and
4.
you can't rush it.
Exactly, and that's what they're realizing is you just have to.
I mean, even if they did allow people back in October, would you guys even really go still with a lot of uncertainty?
As a supporters leader, yes, I would have to. I'd be more than obligated.
It would depend on the situation, what's going on in the country.
Yeah.
And I feel like once the antibody test, as far as people, because supposedly they're saying people may have had it, in the past couple of weeks and weren't aware, and You've already,
4 months.
you
I
may
might
have had
have.
it might have been a flu that you thought you had, and you were actually fighting the virus. So there's a test, and obviously, if you fought it before, you can't catch it again. So there will be people who are cleared to be out in public. Everybody else who survived it or may have gone
But
through
now
it.
that's discrimination, and that's
Well-
a whole nother legal hurdle, because now you're discriminating towards people who do have it and don't have it.
But as far as
That's what I see it.
yeah,
It's interesting
as
now
a
with-
safety issue, you know what I mean. You wouldn't be worried about catching the same one, but yeah, it's one thing. How do people prove who is telling the truth, who's lying, who's just saying it just to go to an event? Who, you know what I mean? There's a whole bunch of gray area that could be a messy situation for sure.
What's interesting now with baseball, they're getting all this testing for the like these specialized testing. I guess they turned the PED testing now to COVID testing.
Claiming it's included in the PED test.
Here, pee in this cup.
Pee in this cup. We're gonna check if you were
If you
voiding
had the
and if you
Ronas.
got the Ronas. It's an all-in-one.
It looks
test.
like Rona.
Right?
Yeah.
All you need is the lime.
Yeah, I'm hopeful to be back by football season with fans. I think though our baseball season might be done for fans. I think we'll start in Arizona, but I don't know if we'll get able unless we drive to Arizona when he plays September, October.
What do you mean? You're talking about that whole grapefruit cactus league?
Yeah, I think we'll have the grapefruit and cactus league.
That's crazy. Like I'm saying, I don't know if I'm on board with that. Like it just doesn't. I guess it's better than nothing, but at the same time, maybe make it its own tournament or its own championship or something else. I feel like same thing. Like anything that isn't an actual full playoffs in any of the sport,
Well,
doesn't feel like it's the same value as a championship. Maybe make a new tournament, or I don't know. Like if it's a modified kind of season with a modified playoff, does it still to you feel the same? Is it the same championship?
I think you're gonna get like a 90-game season, 100-game season still with the split leagues,
and then
you're just not gonna have interleague play in the playoffs.
But like as far as playoffs go, it'd be a full the regular format, like 3,
regular
4,
format
4.
playoff.
I guess.
The
I
only
don't know.
thing
It's just weird. It's just weird.
The only thing you might do now is go 3, 5, 7, but that's not the end of the world in baseball because most teams don't get it in baseball.
Yeah, but also they're gonna always put an asterisk.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
On that champion too.
I don't think so because when they
like
done strikeout seasons, half seasons, they don't put asterisks to those seasons.
But even just the way like it's configured, it would be like not American National League. It'd just be like these made up divisions and these made up like it's not the norm. It'd be something different that would alone be enough to get the asterisk.
No,
I'll even say it. DJ Christian, what's the best King's Cup? It's the first one.
Yeah,
I mean,
and it's because true, but that's because of the amount. Yeah. But
as far as meaning, as far as the meaning, the first
all the
one.
meaning. It was the first one. The second one will always have that not tarnish. That's not the word. Even as a Sharks fan,
it's just
special meaning.
Yeah, there's a different layer of emotion with the first one that obviously you can never replicate.
The first one is always the best one.
Yeah,
and Chicago never won that cup, by the way. That's also what I was going to get at.
The 2015 season.
Yeah, the Blackhawks
season.
The 2013, the shortened season.
I'll allow it.
That year didn't exist.
That means Kings are back to back. Using that logic, so
technical back to back.
I've always said that was asterisk season too.
Back to back full season champions.
So if hockey doesn't come back, like you said, the Kings has the last game where the Stanley Cup champions, like you guys talked about a couple of weeks ago.
Right. Or they're on a 7-game win streak. Maybe we can use one of these arguments.
That's another thing too. Is if they started the hockey season, they're not. Let's be honest. But if they did, what's the fairness of it for the teams?
It's
obviously neither of us. For the teams that are 2 to 3 games away from a playoff spot.
Yeah, all the bubbles, all the bubble teams.
I mean, isn't it even how close? Let me go check something out. Are you sure?
There was 5 games left. There's only 4 or 5 games left for most teams. There was 2 teams that had 3 games left.
What did most of them have a chance though?
Only one team was eliminated. I think only the Red Wings were technically mathematically eliminated, even though I think the Kings and Sharks and Senators were like at .01, or there was a small.
We were on our last run.
Yeah, we were
So
like,
you're saying there's a
you're
chance.
saying
There was still a chance. There was still a
They were
chance.
they were
Definitely.
something like a loss or two away from being eliminated. But the fact that that never happened is interesting, not only for
So, yeah.
playoffs but for draft.
There were
also.
like 11 games left in the season for each team. I just looked it
Was
up right
there?
now.
Kurt, how
Oh,
hard
the
of
home
a,
games. Okay, I get it. Never mind. You're
how
right.
hard of a season was this, Kurt, as a Sharks fan, seeing like obviously the window, this was going to be the year or one of the, what I mean, there was a lot of eggs in the basket to make it this year, and the fact that it didn't go as planned, but having Ottawa own that pick, you know what I mean? Normally when you're bottom feeding, you have the silver lining of, well, at least we have a draft pick, or at least we got this to look forward to. The fact that it was right now, I believe the Sharks pick's the second overall or
Mhm.
third, second or third, but
I think they're second right now.
Yeah, second.
like I feel like those are the little things that keep you going in a season sometimes. In a rough season, you're like, the silver lining is at least we
They're
got that.
There
actually
was no
third.
silver lining.
There was
There
third.
was no silver lining.
That has
They're third
yeah,
behind Ottawa.
that's rough as far as a sports fan. Like you actually have to be a real true fan. You know what I mean? To know the
Well,
light at the end of the tunnel right now is very small.
It, it,
I'll
It
tell you the
hurts.
light at the end of the tunnel, especially, I don't know how much you guys, Rico, Josh, I know you guys don't know much about it until literally just now, but this means my off season is the longest it's been since 2015. Uh,
Right, right,
like
for
that
sure.
means I have more time to deal with fan development, just because I have no off days. I'm working 7 days a week on Teal City Crew. I don't get paid for it. We don't really get recognition um, through the front office. We're literally on our last limbs with the organization itself. It's more of a, hey, we're gonna be here, whether
Right.
you like us or not. Whether we're gonna be in the building, so you might as well just tolerate us.
And
Um, and
and
so this long off season, it's great for me, and it's great for our group, and it's keeping the riffraff out, and almost the 2016 fan base that was super toxic out, and the Vegas naysayers out as well, because there's a lot of Sharks fans who are just very bitter about us, like, haha, we won, and that's the
right,
only thing that they say.
right,
Show that Vegas game again. Show Game 7 again. And I'm tired of Game 7. I am so happy. I was there. I was
Oh,
at Game 7,
nice.
and it's taking care of a lot of business. I'm not seeing anything bad about it. I think we needed this to humble the team, but also the business aspect that you're going to lose money before you make money.
And
I hope
honestly, as far as like other Sharks fans seeing, you guys there and toughing it out during the season, like I'm saying, knowing it's a hard one. It's not something you guys are used to. You guys are, consistent playoff team, and it's something different, something hard. But at least everyone else can be like, at least they stuck around during, whatever dark seasons and dark years, and they're still cheering and they're still fighting. That kind of stuff, I mean, is so valuable in itself. Just to be like, we're not here only when we're winning. We're not here only when things are good. When things are bad too,
and,
you're still gonna find us.
and
I'm here for hockey. I'm not here for
yeah.
championships. Championships are great. I was in LA, and I got to witness all of it, and I got to experience the parade and stuff because I was a resident of LA.
I think I ran into you after the 12 or the 14. We were on the street and we were like over like on
2012.
Washington.
2012.
Yeah, and we
Because
all ran into each other out there.
Yeah.
me, Kurt, Trayvon, and a couple of and some other people. We all went to Denny's after that game.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, because
I
I
just
remember
sat at
walking
the
around and seeing
Denny's on
everybody. Yeah.
the Denny's on Vermont and Wilshire. I'm just sitting there, like, and Kurt is a witness to this. I'm sitting here at the booth, and I'm just like, just this like blank stare on my face, like,
Crying
holy
like a
shit, it just
bitch.
happened. It's true.
But you know what?
All of
Speaking
it.
of Sharks season this year, you guys went through a lot. There was a lot of key injuries, and every time someone went down from hurdle to, I was like, oh my god, it's got to be bad for the fans. It was hard to watch, even as a Kings fan, because it was like, I know what you guys were going through. It was players being hurt, games you guys were winning and then suddenly losing at the end, like that one game against Washington. you know, and I was like, oh my God, I kind of felt bad after, you know, it's like, oh my God.
You lose 7-2 to the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Yeah, and then, you know, you guys fired the coach, stuff like that. So there was a lot going on with San Jose, and it really reminded me what, you know, the Kings were going through, you know, and it's like,
it's an identity crisis.
It's that vicious cycle. Exactly. That's what it's an identity
And the
crisis.
Kings were going through that identity crisis for 3 or 4 years before we finally decided it's time to wrap it up. It's done. Time to rebuild. And
what's that? Lubomir Wisnowski as your all-star pick? Okay, well, whatever.
And that's, you know, I was thinking that too. It's like, is Doug Wilson the next D Lombardi, so to speak? You know, was he too loyal to some of these players and stuff like that? When is it time to start cut bait, so to speak? You know.
Well, I mean, we don't know anything else. That's the problem. Besides Dean Lombardi being ours,
right?
You know, after him, it was Doug Wilson. We haven't had anything else. We don't know, you know, anything different. So that's the hard part.
What's funny, Kurt, is like, I know you, like you're saying, you're a Dodger fan. Me and Christian always do the comparison that the Dodgers are like the Sharks of the MLB. They're a consistently
all the division banners,
consistent playoff team, great teams. Like they've always had consistently good
Got
teams,
a little bit of history in there.
Competitive teams that are always, you know, doing what they have to do, but that last step is just haunting us as Dodger fans.
It's
identify
one
as
missing
with the Sharks.
piece.
Yeah, exactly.
It's one missing piece.
You get close, you get that taste, and if anything, it just makes that want even more. You know what I mean? You're like,
or just a little luck. We just need a little luck.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. So I don't think there's missing pieces. It's we've had bad luck, and that Game 7 was that luck. We cashed out on a round 1 playoff game.
We used it all up too early.
I mean, you could argue that the Sharks could have won last year.
Honestly,
against the Bruins, the Bruins, if you get past, all you need is 2 more wins, and you go against the Bruins in the Stanley Cup final, second time in 3 years.
Right. Yeah,
but
that's what I'm saying.
Then you get injuries. You get these hand pass gate. You have just all of these scenarios that exactly, and that's what it is. And I experienced the LA Kings bad era.
Right.
Chris, if you can ask Christian, we were there back in 2007, 2008.
God damn.
When we were even 2006, where we had empty stadium because everybody left because we were losing to Dallas. I always use this example. They're losing to Dallas and they score 3 in 45 seconds in the final minute of the game.
Yeah.
And they don't win, but all these fans missed out. So I was definitely there in the Kings dark time, and it was such a long time. So it wasn't even dark anymore. It was like we were born into this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was 10 years of dark ages.
But yeah, even
you could argue it's 40 years of dark ages, and then 5 years here and there.
But at least the Sharks, like I'm saying, have had years where they're consistent. They're still a good team. It's not, you're not bottom feeding for multiple seasons, because that's a different. I understand, like you're saying, you've experienced it on both sides. What's more painful, a team that's consistently last in the league, last in the conference, or a team that's so close to reaching that goal year after year and not being able to do it? Because they're both.
The Kings. No, I think the Kings had it worse.
It's harder being a bottom feeding.
And I'll tell you why. The bottom feeders, they have to fight not just to get players, not just to get picks, but now they have to fight for their fans. Look how many fans weren't there.
Right.
The Kings didn't exist outside of the small hockey community of fans, and then you had a bunch of players that played at local rinks across LA County and northern Orange County, and that was it. Now you find King stickers more than Dodger stickers on cars. And we could argue the same thing about, I think hockey in general has grown, but then you have the Sharks who have that drive every year. We sell out, multiple games a year and not just playoffs. Mm-hmm. The excitement's always there. Holy shit, we got Erik Karlsson.
Right.
Before that, man, Logan Couture is on fire. He's going to be our next captain. Becomes next captain. You know, there's always that trade. Holy crap, we got Brian Campbell. Yeah, I just threw that back. Brian Campbell was a shark. We got Craig Rivet from Buffalo before he retired. We got Claude Lemieux. Like these, but and
Sounds like
we
the
made the
Dodgers, man.
playoffs.
That's very
we
Dodger-like,
we got Jeremy Roenick.
right?
Hey, we had him
know how
too.
that goes.
I think,
We
I
know
think
how that
everyone had
goes.
Jeremy Roenick.
Right. Yeah, you guys can
Los
keep him.
Angeles Kings.
Everyone in the room, please raise your hand if Jeremy Roenick has been on your team.
If you feel personally insulted by Jeremy Roenick, if he's
Oh
personally
well, now we are
attacked
too. Gutless Patrick Marleau, right?
Wow.
Uh,
Forgot about that.
so,
But yeah, like that's what I'm saying. It's a weird thing because I could definitely see the argument on both sides. There's positives and there's negatives to both sides of that viewpoint of what would you rather do. And like I'm saying, as a Dodger fan, I can definitely relate with that Sharks fan side where it's just like you're saying, even at the deadline, always making the big move,
but
always
the Dodgers
getting
have championships, and
this.
that's
But okay, so this is something else. We're all, I mean, Rico experienced the last one, but I was one the last time the Dodgers
Yeah.
won, so I've never personally felt that victory
I
of
was
my team.
11.
So like,
oh man,
I know like the team
we
has
got the
history,
Walker.
right?
I'm the old guy of the bunch.
Rico's the OG. He's but like yeah, I'm saying like I know the team has history, but like it's still different knowing like or getting to experience it and see it yourself. So like I'm saying, you hope they get to that thing. Like you said though, regardless, you're still gonna be there. You're still gonna be supporting. You're still gonna be, you know what I mean. Nothing's gonna change that. You just like my whole thing with the Kings was especially growing up, was I just want to see one in my lifetime. Like that's what if I see one in my lifetime, I'll be all right. Like everything else, like I'll remember that, and that's where I am with the Dodgers right now. It's like I just want to see one. Like I want to remember
Which-
one, and the fact that we were so close, like in 17 and losing Game 7 at home, and then
You guys,
It
you
eats
guys,
me alive.
eats
you
me
guys are
alive.
going through what I went through in '93 when the Kings played the Canadians and we lost it. I remember that it was such a heartbreaking day. And yeah, I mean, you guys, like I said, that this is what kind of robbed it for us. Is like, we're talking about the Houston Astros. I think that was a year we should have won.
Marty McSorley.
Right.
Yeah, but
That was
I'd
a year
rather
Went downhill there.
I think I'd rather win all these divisions, come close, and knowing I'm there instead of sucking for 15 years straight and not knowing I have a chance. My team has a chance. I don't want to be the Baltimore Orioles. Or
Well, I was, my defense when the Kings did win. Now I'm on the defensive. Shit, Kings have a championship. This is before
watch
they
your
had two.
profanity.
Sorry.
I'm just joking. It's our running joke when we do.
We usually have a
There's
soundboard.
a soundboard that says
that.
Age of Ultron. Language.
Language.
God takes flexibly.
What was I saying? Sorry.
It's okay.
As far as
Defensive of the Kings winning the championship.
I was on the defensive, so I had to come up with, and the argument is still there, and it could still exist, but we're both in this weird transitional phase of us being in the bottom of the Pacific somehow, something we never thought we would ever see in a long time. Yeah,
welcome.
Welcome. We've
I
been
don't think we're gonna be there for long, though.
We've been awaiting your presence for years.
What's that?
We're not gonna be there for long.
Yeah, let us show you guys around.
Let me show you this.
And then we're leaving.
Wow, the grass is really greener when you get to the golf course first.
Right? Wow, I love what you guys have done with the place.
No, you just come here about 3 weeks later when the golf course is already ruined.
Right.
But no, but for the longest time, my argument was, I hope we win one in under 47 years because that means we're better than the Kings.
But now it has to be 2 in 49 years.
Yes, and that brings a little bit more stress. Hopefully that happens. But in sports trending, it looks like that's more likely, especially teams are winning multiple championships in 10-year increments.
Yeah, when the window's open, the window's open.
I mean, just look at that whole era when it was the Blackhawks and the Kings and the Penguins going back and forth at it, for that.
Or yeah,
right before that, Detroit.
It's a cycle in any sports, right?
with the exception, I think, of the Penguins, all the teams that were in the playoffs, during those runs are now all more or less bottom feeding teams are fighting for playoffs. With I think the Penguins are the only ones who have stayed consistent. Nashville,
Same roster. And then you
yeah.
have the same style roster. They never changed their roster
But they're
style.
getting old quick.
Who?
The Penguins.
Yeah, but I mean they're still competitive and out
What's
east.
gonna happen
They're
when
still getting
Crosby left?
picks.
Yeah,
And it's crazy. They went through different coaches too, right?
yeah.
Same
And
style coaches, though.
Same style. Yes, very same
But
style.
it's all Crosby though. When Crosby leaves or
Mm-hmm.
retires, what's gonna happen to Pittsburgh? Are they gonna go back to the days before when they suck?
Chapter 14, 3 times in 5 years.
I'm rooting
Mario's
for
gonna
them to be irrelevant.
Mario's gonna
Like
dust it
Detroit,
off one
how
more
good they
time.
were for a while, now they suck.
Yeah, but
go
they're
to
still
cycles.
pulling fans, though. They're still pulling fans, even though that city can't afford tickets.
What, Detroit
So,
or
I mean-
Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. I thought Booster said Detroit right now. I was like, I mean,
I'm saying
dude.
Detroit sucks.
Oh, Detroit sucks.
Oh, Detroit. It's been fun watching Detroit be irrelevant. Thank
They've been
God.
traditionally a good
Like
team.
I said, my whole childhood,
They've
Detroit
been
was
good
just a
for so long,
powerhouse.
I'm like, what?
Yeah,
Oh,
I don't.
That stadium is so nice.
No sympathy for Detroit. You guys were too good for too long,
The pizza box,
right?
Little Caesars Arena.
They are ultimately tanking the last 2 years.
or as I like to call, the Dojo.
Wow. Emphasis.
Ah,
Good, that's a good one.
Ah,
A tilt to the old Joe Louis Arena. Yes.
Dojo. That's hilarious.
it's pizza dough and
Da-dunch.
And Joe Louis. Wow. I don't even know how to respond to that one.
chuckle.
That just completely reset me right now. But yeah,
Hey,
guys. I mean, it's just interesting. I mean, it's always cool to get different perspectives, especially Kurt's obviously his a division rival perspective of certain things that I mean we're all Kings fans, so of course we just repeat the same thing and we're like, oh yeah. Agreeing about everything. But it's interesting to get that that Sharks fan perspective, especially on that
but
kind of
no. Yeah.
stuff. Yeah,
When you
exactly.
leave-
Exactly. Yeah.
But no.
You're
when
like,
you leave, you're all
actually.
like, gone. See ya. Don't even hear about that.
We're like, yeah, right. When we hang up, we're like, well, Kurt's crazy. He's a Sharks fan. Like I was saying.
We're editing this all out. I don't know how we're doing it. I know it's live.
Invite him
but-
again.
Don't worry, we won't edit it.
Block him next time.
Everything
Whoa,
that
what
he
the hell?
said, like an old Japanese movie. But yeah, guys, solid podcast. Usually we've been trying to do these these virtual ones, and half the time we're trying to aim for 45 minutes. Right now we're almost at an hour 40, guys.
Yeah.
We just got going on this one.
Yeah,
I love
thank
it.
you for joining us. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. I actually do have a podcast myself. I'd love to have
Promote
one
it,
or two of
promote
you
it.
guys.
Yes.
It's called Fins and Scarves. It's less about, we have a lot of podcasts up here for the Sharks that you guys even probably see on Twitter and stuff. But ours is a little different. Ours is about how is the community handling Sharks? How is the fan base? It's a really more down to earth. We're not talking stats. We're not talking about Erik Karlsson needs to be traded right now because he's not performing because we're only giving him a season and a half of injured time. We're not about that. We're literally, hey, how can the Sharks go to the east side, San Jose, which is the same thing as East LA, working class Mexican neighborhood. How do we go to the east side and promote the Sharks from the fan base? Because the Sharks aren't going to do anything. How are we doing that? That was one of our conversations from one of the episodes.
Okay.
That's pretty
So
cool.
Fins and Scarves, it's more of a down to earth fan thing. We're a little bit of a hiatus right now just because not much to talk about. Yeah.
Exactly the position we're in right now. We're still trying to do shows, but obviously there's not much to talk about as far as news in the sports world other than depressing news. So I feel
we're all
for the
using
most part,
together
we've just been shooting the shit.
Yeah.
I'll
We're
give
all
you guys the
using
best
together,
advice.
too.
I'll give you guys the best advice that I've been using, especially because I've been working with sports. What is it? Sports Geek, which is a great podcast, and Sports Hosts, which is a great company that I'll give you guys connections to after this.
For sure.
For outside fans to come and experience with you guys for all sports. I've been talking to their CEOs. I've been talking to their leaderships because I want to gain knowledge to use for my fans, to use for the Sharks fans. This is the perfect time to bring the fans in that feel isolated and give them a platform to speak that isn't necessarily sponsored by barrystickets.com.
Right.
So, you know what I mean?
By StubHub.
Right.
Is Barry's Tickets still around?
Yes,
Yeah,
they are.
yeah.
Okay. I'm like, is Norm's restaurant still around?
Yeah,
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
it's not at the end of the world. So yes.
not yet.
And thank you for
They
kind
built a
of
new one in Inglewood, by the way.
Oof.
and thank you
I need to
for
Venture.
bringing that up, Kurt. Because next week we do want to invite more of our fans to kind of join in, chime in, similar to what you did. So hit us up on our Instagrams or social media if you guys want to join, and we'll send you guys a link prior to next week's podcast.
Right.
I had
Also,
fun.
and also, I know you had your podcast, but your big, not even project, your big job that you have is you run
Life project.
yeah, exactly. Life project is you run
Yeah,
Teal City Crew. So,
Teal City Crew, we're an independent supporters club. We have members in 15 countries, over 30 states. Much like the LA Royal Army, please keep developing Royal Army. Unlike in soccer supporters clubs, we're all about unity. We're all about the rivalry for 60 minutes.
It's a much different fun vibe in hockey with the supporters groups. There's like only like a handful of us. So
I wonder now, with the success of soccer, the supporting group, if other teams will adapt that now.
They already are.
Yeah, I feel like it's only gonna help. It's only gonna like change that stigma of like the culture, because obviously soccer culture is very like European as far as the the fandom and all that kind of like the whole idea of a supporters group. So people being familiar with it in soccer, I feel like is only going to help in hockey. Even like we said, like the Dodgers with Pantone. I know they're not technically a supporters group, but just large groups of fans going and representing.
That's a supporters group.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a supporters group. It doesn't matter. Look at I don't know if you guys have heard of The Block. They're a group of Brooklyn Nets fans. They're 70 season ticket holders in one section of the lower bowl of Barclays Arena. And
I've seen that. There's like an old guy who's always like trying to do a jinx or something, right?
So
they have 40 guests, and they have 40 guests, 40 guest tickets. So they have 110 seats in this square area with the DJ right in front of it. They are the hype squad. The Warriors are doing the same thing because they're obviously struggling with their attendance. Well, before, but
but isn't it because of their ticket prices though? Because that stadium's outrageously expensive.
No,
it's
up in the Bay Area. They'll make those games.
The problem is it's people that are on the East Bay that don't want to pay $9 to go on the bridge.
Yeah.
Ultimately.
But yeah, it's only all this stuff is only going to help the culture, help overall. Like in hockey, like you're saying, it's important. I feel like, especially for the supporters groups too, to help change that culture, and that's pretty much what Kurt's been doing up north with the Teal City Crew, and like we're trying to bring back the Royal Army this year. That's been our goals to also, change the culture, try to, do this the way we want.
But in order to do it our way, you also have to take from other people. Obviously, after this podcast, I'll definitely reach out and give you the opportunities that I was given to talk to. I mean, I'm talking to like second division clubs, but their supporters are better than FC Cincinnati's section. It doesn't matter, especially in soccer. People like their Division 2 team more than than some MLS clubs.
Yeah, for sure. Like the fans are the fans are there. Like that's what I'm saying. It's almost like it's a cultural shift that has to happen as far as what's there now, and then what like all of us know can be.
Team's not going to do it either. Front office isn't going to do it. It's going to have to be present without the front office, and then they have to approach you.
Yeah, like they can
it's
they can
the
only,
momentum.
Yeah, they can only help so much. Like they can definitely help, but overall, like it still has to. It comes down on the fans. The people are passionate for them to go out there, to be loud, to be creative, to not be scared of this change. And at the end, it only benefits everybody. It only benefits the league, the team, other fans. Like there's only positives to it.
The Sharks think we're crazy because they keep saying, "Well, what's in it for us?" I'm like, I'm trying to sell you tickets.
Right? Yeah.
I'm trying to help you, mother.
Well, they don't understand that. They just
Right?
think about the bottom line. Oh, are they making
Bottom
us
line,
money?
that's what it is.
Right.
I would love to make them money. I would love to sell out that arena. If that means I get 50 seats and do banner tifos and do confetti, I will stay after the game with a broom in hand. If they give me the opportunity, I will take that opportunity.
Yeah, like,
And that's where we're at right
takes.
now.
If that's what it takes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what you have to keep saying. If that's what it takes.
But
Because it's going to take a lot of work and it's going to take a lot of hard-headedness. We know the right direction because we see it in other sports and other cities.
Kurt, we're gonna get you a scarf. I've been meaning to get you a scarf.
I'm waiting. I actually have a scarf from every supporters club in the NHL, except
I thought
y'all.
we gave the TCC one a couple years ago.
You did, and then he lost his, and y'all didn't have any, so I gave it back.
We have an
Chris-
updated design.
Christian
coming
sold
up
it on
too,
the
so-
blue line.
Yeah.
Well,
we have some extra ones at the Hooligan warehouse, so I'll get you one of those.
we'll definitely get you one. And thank you, Kurt, for stopping by. I mean, it wasn't planned, but it was definitely a pleasant surprise just to drop in.
Yeah. Now I got to make dinner for the lady. She's the
Ooh.
breadwinner right now, so
Get to
So,
it.
Brianna,
It
said
better
hello.
be tasty.
I'm making that Italian. So
Thanks for joining us.
That's the only way you can say it.
thank you guys. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Kurt.
Yeah, and thank you to everybody who watched along on this episode. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to check out the website hooligansports.net. Check out Kurt's thing, Teal City Crew. What's the name of the podcast?
Fins and Scarves.
Fins
It's
and
on
Scarves.
Spotify, Apple, all of it,
But
except YouTube. It's not on YouTube yet.
Not yet.
You want to join us?
Shout out
next
to
week?
Rose Cremations.
Also, quick Rose Cremation plug. Actually, I had this ready to go. Rose Cremation, hit us, Christian. Bring us home.
Think about tomorrow. Today.
There we go. Rose Cremation always holding it down for us, helping us out, our main sponsor. But yeah, guys, thank you everyone once again for joining along. Next week we'll be back Monday, 8 o'clock, same thing.
I will be 31.
Oh yeah, we got Christian's birthday.
Yeah, my birthday's on Saturday.
We'll have a surprise for him for next episode or something. I don't know.
Ooh.
But yeah,
Oh,
We won't make fun of the
I remember when I was
49ers.
31.
wow. That was right after the Dodgers moved to LA.
Oh yeah.
Well, all right, guys. Thanks for everyone for stopping by. Until next week. Later.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A.